Hey guys, welcome to my first ever YouTube video. As you can tell in the title of the video, I'm going to talk about ownership on the RS5. I've had this car for a year and a half, I would say, right? I bought it in June of last year, so almost a year and a half, I would say. And with that comes obviously knowing how much I spent, how much it cost me, and how much it cost to continue owning the car, right? I bought this car when I was about 19 years old, had barely turned 19, freshly out of high school, did not know what I was getting myself into. And do I regret it? No, but it is really expensive considering I am young and considering this is my first car. Well, my first car legally. I had another car before this, right? It was an old truck. I used it for high school, to and from school, and it served me well, but I wanted something else, and this is what I settled on, and this is what I'm going to be talking about today, and I hope you guys enjoy the video. Before I get into how much the car cost me, I do want to get into the spec of the car. Why? Because this is I don't want to be a Corvette owner here, but I mean, truth be told, it pretty rare spec. Silver, matte aluminum, carbon fiber. Rare spec. No carbon ceramics, that's okay. But overall, this is a rare spec. Why? Because not too many coupes came into the US. It was more sportback than coupes. And the fact that there's less in that trim option is what sets it apart. The matte aluminum is what sets it apart. I can understand why people didn't get it, right? Because the matte aluminum blends it with the silver, right? So from a step back, you can tell, obviously to me, I can tell that it's two separate colors, right? But for someone that is just like driving by, looking at the car, maybe I'm passing them on the freeway, they're not gonna tell the difference between both of them, right? So that is why it's a rare spec. People don't, I guess, necessarily want that, right? But to me, I think it's perfect. I love the spec. So again, silver, matte aluminum, carbon fiber, black tip exhaust with some red brake calipers, and of course the carbon fiber mirror caps. All came in the car like that. This is a factory spec. That right there is also matte aluminum, but I did wrap it black. Just thought it looked a lot better, but I feel like I'm gonna take that wrap off. Before I jump into anything else, I'm gonna jump into how much this car cost me. Not how much it cost me to keep the car, right? Because maintenance, insurance, everything else plays a huge factor in this car, right? So how much it cost me when I bought it. That's not including insurance, that's not including maintenance, that's not including anything else other than the car, taxes, and warranty. So you guys can get an idea of how much this car cost me. And if you're potentially trying to buy one, you can know how much it might cost you, right? It varies. So this car cost, how much was at the dealership? It was $52,000, right? 52 and some change. That's how much it costs just for the car itself. No taxes, no warranty, just the car itself, right? With taxes, here in California, it is 9% of what the car is valued, right? So if it's $52,000, 9% of that is my taxes, right? So after tax, what we refer to as out the door, before warranty, this car was $59,000 and some change. $59,000, right? Okay, now after tax, warranty for this thing was around $6,000, yeah, because this car was $64,900. I think it needed like $40 to be like 65 out the door with warranty, taxes, and the car itself. I did get the warranty for about, I think it was 5 years and 76,000 miles. So when this car hits 76,000 miles or or 5 years, 5 or 6 years, warranty's over. Warranty is over. Now, I should have gotten a shorter warranty with higher miles. Now looking back at it, I did before this. I lived somewhere else, right? And I thought I was gonna stay there. I didn't, right? So now my commute is probably like 30 miles a day, just there and back, not counting how many miles I put while I'm inside the city, right? So this, for every purpose, this is my daily driver, right? I currently replaced it with a 2015 Mini Cooper S, right? But this has been my daily driver for the past literally like year and a half, I would say. Yeah, for as long as I've owned it, pretty much, right? Until probably like a week ago where I got the Mini Cooper S. But this has been my daily driver, right? So now, it being my daily driver, how many miles does this car have, right? Pretty sure that's the question everybody's asking right now. How many miles does the car have? Now let's check. How many miles does the car have? Right? Check. Sorry. Okay. Now the car has, if you can see, 44,000 miles. Right? Now, mind you, I did, in fact, get a good deal on this car. This car is a 2019, right? I got it with only 16,000 miles. Now, no, it's not a lemon. No, there's nothing wrong with it cosmetically. Everything, the car is perfectly fine. Perfect. Only had 2 owners. First owner bought it in 22. He only put around like 8,000 miles, I believe, right? He owned it for 2 years. Last owner owned it for, I believe, like a year and a half or so. Before I got my hands on it, he put about like the same amount of miles, like a little bit more, I think, because in total it was like 16,800 around, something like that, right? Before he traded it in at a Lexus dealership. Tell me, what Lexus is better than that? Maybe, I don't know. They did say he got an LC 500. I don't know what, honestly, like, I feel like this car looks a million times better and it performs a lot better. But just some people prefer other things, right? So I'm not gonna clown on him for that. Thankfully he did, because now I have this thing. Insurance. As a 19-year-old, how much did it cost me to insure this thing, right? I am not talking as a 20-year-old, right? Because that's how old I am now. And I'll tell you how much I paid in every single step of the way, right? So, when I first got this car, how much did I pay? A lot. A lot, to say the least. A lot. So, before getting this, I was looking into getting a RS7, right? First it was an R6, then an R7, and finally settled upon this, right? Our R6 was about $800 a month to insure, which, after what I'm about to tell you, it's not that bad. Yeah, that's crazy. It's not that bad. So, RS7. Let's look at RS7. RS7 was, hear me out, $1,600 a month. $1,600 a month for a, what was it, a 2017 RS7. Yup. 2017 RS7 was $1,600 a month, right? So I was planning on getting the RS7. I ended up changing my mind, obviously, right? Now, that was in my parents' insurance, right? So mind you, that's just with my parents. On my own, that would have been well over $2,000. Where was this insurance at? It was at AAA. AAA insurance charged me that much just to insure an RS7 or an RS6. for only, I believe it was only like 7 or 8,000 miles, which was honestly all that I was gonna drive, because I did live in the city where I worked at, so it wasn't that bad. But considering that I changed cities, right, and now I have to commute to work, like a very long commute, probably like 40 minutes to an hour to commute, depending on traffic. Yeah, that insurance would have went up real quick, right? Now, the day that I got my RS5, right, I was praying to God it was gonna be a lot cheaper than the RS6 and the RS7, especially the RS7, right? Insurance on this thing, right? $400 for this thing, right? $400 to insure this thing for only 7,000 miles, to me, was a no-brainer. This was perfect, right? Perfect. Now, I paid $700 for a month. You might be asking, why only a month? Because the car that they had put me under was a old car, right? And they ended up giving that car away. So automatically they grabbed me and they put me inside this car, raised the insurance up to $800, almost $900. Yup. Double the cost of what it was. So that's how much I ended up paying for this thing. For a good like 4 months, I ended up paying $800 for this car right here. Now, at some point, it wasn't realistic to keep driving this car, especially as a daily. So I did have this car sit for about 3 months. It's November, December, and part of January. I put it back on the insurance, drove the hell out of it, and this is where we're at right now, right? So when I put my car back on the insurance, I went on my own insurance, right? Because it was really high due to the fact that my parents had some speeding tickets, right? And it did not help having this car under the insurance. So I ended up getting my own insurance. I paid around $680 a month for this thing. Now, if you tell me that's still bad, but it's better than $800, almost $900. And this is, or was, my only car, right? Honestly, didn't want to buy another car. Why? Because this one does everything I ask it to. It serves every single purpose, and I'll get into that later. So once I got my car back into insurance, the first thing I needed to do was service the car, right? How much does service cost on an RS5? Oil change. I haven't done the spark plugs. I haven't done anything else other than oil change till this day, but that is going to change real soon, because the service is already up to do on this car. So I need to get this car serviced, right? So service, I got this car serviced at around 25,000 miles, right? Because Audi, for some reason, did not let me service this car before 10,000 miles. They didn't let me service it. Why? I don't know. I ended up not necessarily fighting with them about it, but I did kind of like, I kind of like complained about it. And they told me, you know what? Okay, it's fine. Like, just go to the service department, tell them that you want your car serviced and that you want them to serve it at that mileage, and they'll do it for you. But before then, I did not know, right? So that means this car has been serviced every 10,000 miles. Some people will be like, no, you shouldn't do that. Every 5, at least 5,000 miles, 8,000 miles. No, this car has been serviced it's not 10, it's more like 9. I just wait until it says, it says like 1,500 miles to do, right? That's when I draw the line. I draw the line exactly at 1,000, right? So if I only have a certain amount of miles to when my oil change gets below 900 or at 900, I just stop moving the car. I don't move it, and I just wait until I make an appointment and I get the car serviced, right? So yes, from here on out, since this car is getting already halfway to 100,000 miles, I am gonna start doing the maintenance every single 5,000 miles. Every single 5,000 miles. Now, how much does it cost to service this car? Oil changes are $240 at an Audi service department, and that is how much I've paid, right? I've done so far 2 oil changes. One was free due to the fact that this car was still under its factory warranty, right? I don't know how that was. So they gave me a free 50,000 mile warranty. Oil change, sorry. Oil change. So I got that one for free. So far I've only had to pay once, and that was only $240 that I paid, right? Not too bad. Now with every car, obviously there comes some unpredictable, I would say, damages, I guess. I don't know, unpredictable stuff that you weren't necessarily hoping for it to happen, right? Now, what ended up happening with this car was I ended up getting a flat on that tire, right? Now, my tires were in need to be changed, right? They were in need to be changed. As a matter of fact, the 2 back were good. 2 back had plenty of life left. It was just the fronts, right? But Audi being Audi, they wanted me to change all 4. Now, obviously, I honestly would not recommend to pay Audi to put your tires, or let alone source your tires. They will charge you a lot of money. Now, how much were they charging me for tires on this car? Labor, the tires themselves, and everything else, how much was it? I'll let you guess. $2,500. $2,500 for everything this car needed, right? For it to be the tires themselves, for it to be mounted and aligned and balanced. All of it was $2,500. $2,500 for everything. Okay, last subject. How much does it cost to fill this car up in gas, right? Now, this car only takes 91. As a matter of fact, that's all I put. And for you people saying, oh no, it takes 93. California, we only have 91. And as you can see right there, 91 premium. So, how much does it cost to fill up the tank in this car? It costs from $60 to $70. Nothing more, nothing less. From straight 0 miles to a full tank, that's how much it's going to cost you in this car, depending on gas prices. Gas prices in California are typically $4, $5, sometimes $6. The most you'll ever see is probably high $6s. I live in the Bay Area, right? That's how you know what my gas prices are. Obviously LA, SoCal, everywhere down there, different gas prices. Everywhere up high, like Sacramento, everywhere else gonna be different gas prices, but that is what I pay with this car. Okay, now apart from all the cost, everything has to do with money. How is the car? How comfortable is it? How was it dailying it? And everything above and around. Alright, now this car does have Napa leather seats, right? You can see red stitching everywhere. Great. Now this car does have massaging seats, right there. Massaging function there. Feels really good. So the times that I've taken this car out for a family trip, this car has been nothing but amazing. Now driving the car, right? Thankfully, whoever optioned this car did think about putting a heads-up display, so that is very helpful. There is a lot of different things that you could do with this one, right? This one just shows that, but when you go to the nav screen, right, go to map, you go to input destinations, right. I'm just gonna put like a random place, I don't know, the shell, right. It puts it now on the heads of display. Now it tells me where to go, as well as right here. Now right here we can switch it to put it right there, and now it shows me the map. Now we could click view, right, to then make the map bigger and the cluster bigger. So this minimizes, and the map itself gets bigger. Now, as you guys saw, I did have Apple CarPlay put on here. Don't mind the music, it just puts whatever. Now, the only complaint I have about this car is this. You cannot use it, right? You can't go over here and make a phone call like this. You either have to put the voice right here, then it gets Siri, and then you tell it to call someone, right? Because other than that, if I decide to call someone, I literally have to take my eyes off of driving, go right here, put it to call someone, and like, you see how like annoying it is? Like, it is pretty annoying, right? Now, music, I can't really change it from here. Like, as you can see, I can't really change it from here. Now, I'm gonna disconnect my phone real quick just to show you guys, right, what it's supposed to look like, right? This is what it's supposed to look like. This is what it's supposed to look like. So it's supposed to look like this, right? You could choose your music, right? I don't know, Grammys. You back out. Can you? No, you can't. Okay. Anyways, the point is you could choose your music from right there without having to take your eyes fully off of your area of driving and look over there, right? Another thing this car doesn't have, considering it's a 2019, it does not have wireless Apple CarPlay, right? And worse yet, since I do have a newer iPhone, right, I forgot what type this is. I think this is type C. Yeah, type C, right? You have to buy something that looks like this, because it only takes USB. Something that looks like this. It's a USB to a type C, right? In order for the Apple CarPlay to work. Now, if you buy a charger, right, that has, instead of this end, it has a USB, right, and then over here it has the type C, right? So type C, USB, right? Just a wire that's connected by itself. It won't work. It will not work, right? So forcefully, what you have to do is you have to buy one of the little adapters. I don't know what it's at. It's right here. Okay. You have to buy one of these in order for your Apple CarPlay to work with your newer iPhone. So it is a pain, right? But I guess it's just tiny stuff that can get, I don't know, maybe a little annoying, but they have a solution, right? So it's not that bad. At least I wouldn't say it's that bad, right? Connect it. Takes a while, but eventually Apple CarPlay does get on there. See? Right here, you just have your miles driven. Now, let's check how many total miles I've driven. That's short term. Long term, I've driven 27,000 miles in this car. That's 896 hours. How many days is that? I do not know. Well over 30 days, well over a month of just straight driving, right? Now, some of my favorite things about this car is, I would say, this right here, the light. It's not a button. You just tap it, it turns on, tap it, it turns off, right? It does have a panoramic sunroof. I think that's what it's called. Not 100% sure. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. But yes, and then the ambient lighting looks really good. Really good ambient lighting, right? Sucks that one stays white, but overall, pretty good. Build quality, I'd say is good. Only thing annoying about this is cup holders. Whenever you have like a drink that's sweating because of the heat or whatnot, sometimes it gets right here and spills down here. Now, what's happened because of that, now this button does not work. Like, it's stuck. Right? Not like this. Oh. Stuck. Why? Because something dripped down and came all the way down here. And especially since there's like this little, like, I guess you would say like route, the water can just easily route right here, and now it's jammed. I have no idea what it was. Maybe it was like some type of sweet drink, right, that has sugar and whatnot, and because it was dripping right here, dried up, now it's stuck, will not move. Now, I do like watching videos about these cars, right? Now, one thing that Doug DeMiro missed, right? One thing that Doug DeMiro missed. This is the key. This is what it looks like after being in an your pocket a lot of times. This is what he missed, right? You could grab this key. See his cup holders right there? This key fits perfectly right there. Right there. So you never have to wonder, oh, where are my keys? I have to put them right here. No. They can fit right there. They fit perfectly. I'm pretty sure that's where they're meant to be. Right? Now, drinks. They don't go. Obviously, a water bottle is going to move around a lot because it's plastic. You can lose squish it. But if you have anything that's hard, that's not plastic like this, or at least hard plastic, will not go anywhere. Right? Now, if you have a giant hydro flask, right? My girlfriend has one. Puts it right here. Blocks all this. Also all this right here. So that does get pretty annoying, but it's just small stuff. I mean, I just grab her hydro flask and I just tell her, hold it, keep it over there, right? So it's not that big of a deal. Now, one thing that I do appreciate about this car is the heated seats. Man, does this come in handy when it's cold. Yes, especially in the mornings when this car, you get in it. So it does have leather seats. These are freezing. These seats are freezing, right? No heated steering wheel, obviously, because I have a flat bottom steering wheel. No heated steering wheel, right? Now, it does have a control right here. Other side, that is it. That is all the control Audi said to get, and that's all you get. Now, there's another ambient lane right here, leather right here, carbon fiber right here, carbon fiber right here, carbon fiber right here, sides, carbon fiber everywhere, right? Now, people complain a lot about this knob. I'm gonna be honest with you, it is not annoying at all. Like, this is what I'm looking at, right? Let's say you're just cruising, have one hand on the wheel, the other hand you just place it right here, your shifter, right? I feel like it's more work to go over here, turn the dial, than just to move your hand to the side, skip, volume up, volume down. Like, that is a whole lot easier. Mute, like, that's a whole lot easier than to have to go all the way here, reach for it. So people complain about this. I think it was genius. I love it, right? Now people are like, what is this for? If you have a cabriolet, this is for your top, up and down, whatever, right? Now, if you have the key just by itself, it fits right here. It literally fits right here, like perfectly snug right here. So this is another spot where you can put it if you don't have a million things on your keys, right? So that is what this is for. Now, some people are gonna want to hear the car from the inside, right? And I would demonstrate that right now, right? You guys want to hear it rev into neutral, and sounds amazing. All I need is a muffler, not a muffler delete, a resonator delete, sorry. Resonate delete. This car would sound amazing, fantastic. Orchestra right here. Also, another thing I do love about this car is that you can just simply go right here into the side, go to last destination, and input where you want to go, or where you've gone. Right now, let's see some of the stuff that you can change. Right now, I'm gonna take off the directions, right? Because obviously I don't need them. I'm not going anywhere, right? So we gotta input. We gotta. Sorry, I don't use this, honestly. I don't use this, so I have no idea. Let's see, navigation. That's to delete a destination. Whatever, we'll delete it. Things long. Delete. Okay, now we're back to this. Right, shows you how much miles per gallon I get. This was just from driving to my house to this current spot right here. I did have it, as you can see, in dynamic, so I wasn't getting the best mileage you can, right? So what you can do is you click right here, you go to sport displays, right? You can have all of these. Now you're saying, but what about that one? You click right here on the side, you put additional displays, and then from right here you could change it to whatever you want. Now I typically, I don't know, choose that one, right? And then this one I just let it be my G-force, or I just change it back to this, right? Now if you don't like the style, like the R8 style cluster, right, you can go to layout and change it to the classic one. It is gonna take a minute to change it. Honestly, I can see why people would want it, but I prefer the middle one. Look, this is what it looks like, right? This is what it looks like. So now let's change it back to sport displays, right? So now you can have your miles per gallon right here, right? Your gearing, 1 to shift, your speedometer right here goes all the way to 200, and like that, right? But obviously I like mine in the middle. It looks more sporty, more like an RS car, right? Okay, now we're gonna take it on a little drive. I did switch the heads-up display back to the sport one, right? It shows you your temperature of the engine, your stop time, right? Your stopwatch time for if you're doing a track lap or something like that, your speed, and then on top of that, it does have a light, right, that blinks whenever it's time to shift. It does it over here too, from 4,000 all the way to 6,000 RPMs. It tells you, right? I do have it in comfort. There is a huge difference between comfort and dynamic, as you can tell. Now, apart from the suspension, right? Gotta check if there's anyone coming. Apart from the suspension, the steering gets a lot softer, right? The steering gets a lot softer. So I'm gonna put the windows up and I'm gonna just get a driver real quick, right? Apart from that, the suspension does get a lot softer. Steering gets a lot softer. It's less responsive, right? So if I were to smash it on the gas right now, the gas, it would hesitate on going fast, right? As I'm gonna demonstrate right now. Look. I don't know if you guys saw that or not, but I'm gonna do it again, right? I need the car to relax a bit, right? I'm gonna let you guys know when I step on the gas, and you guys are gonna see how long it takes to respond. Okay, 3, 2, 1. You see how there's like that slight delay? The car's just asking you, are you sure you want to do that? But that's it, right? Now we go into auto. Auto, the suspension gets a little bit stiffer. The steering stays the same, I would say, right? But that, I feel like auto is just in case you don't like comfort. Comfort is a little too jumpy, right? So right now, if I would be going over these little, like, I don't know if you can see, but they're like little bumps, right? The car will constantly be trying to minimize your impact, right? So it'll be trying for you not to feel it. Now, you definitely can't feel it, right? Now, dynamic, right? Steering gets heavy, right? Steering is heavier. suspension is lower, and you can feel every single crack on the floor, on the road. Sorry, on the road, you can feel every crack. Now, is there a delay whenever I step on the gas? We'll see right now. I'm gonna do a U-turn up here, right? And we're gonna find out right now if it does have a delay. I don't think it has a delay. At least not as bad as from comfort and stepping on it. I don't think it's that bad, but nonetheless, I still feel like it does have a delay. Right? Little backup camera, 360. Right? Now it is in support, right? So obviously, if theoretically speaking, if I step on the gas, it should react right away. Ready? 1, 2, 3. As you guys saw right there, that launched me all the way back. I don't know if you guys are able to see that on the video, but I honestly was not ready for that. Now I feel like I should do like a little launch control, right? But not before I show you guys what I was talking about on the heads-up display. Right? Look. I don't know why it's not doing it. Maybe it's like... yeah, doesn't want to do it. Weird. Hear that glorious twin turbo V6. Now, this is in private property. This is Mexico right now. I am not in California, so I am not doing this on public roads, right? Do not try this at home at all. But this is on private roads. Sorry, private, not public. Private. Private roads right here. Okay, now I'm gonna run you guys down on how to do a launch control, right? RS5. So, foot fully on the brake, right? You come down here, you look for your off button, right? Now, you hold it down, you don't click it. If you click it, you're just gonna have that stability control off, right? You can do a launch control on this, but I don't like it, right? Because it's still traction control on some amount. So you hold it down until you see that ESC off. That's when you want to launch control. Why? Because since you're only taking it partially off, right? Your car can't put down all the power. Why? Because it's constantly still trying to give you traction, right? So now with all that off, hazards on, fall all the way down on the brake, all the way, like as far as you could put it down, right? And foot as far as you can put it down. Look at that, and then go all the way down. Now that is what I call launch control. That is amazing. Amazing. This car does 0 to 60 like around, what I would say, like under 3.5 as far as I know. Now mine is a bit slower due to the fact that obviously I'm not on summer tires, right? Not on sport tires, none of that. I am solely on pure all seasons, right? So they are horrible tires. Can't stress that enough. They are really bad tires. So yeah, this is my RS5, and I do have some wheels that I have just stored up inside one of my little storage rooms that are gonna get put on sometime very soon. So stay tuned for that video. I might give you guys a little sneak peek, right, for what's to come. And hopefully this is a start to something great, something that I'm gonna love, right? I love cars. Most specifically, I love Audis, right? This is what this account is centered on, right? Not saying that I don't like other cars, right? Not saying that I'm not gonna film other cars. I'm just saying that this is the brand that I love. These are the type of cars that I love, and I feel like you just can't go wrong with an Audi. There is no downside to a Audi other than the fact that maybe other cars can outperform them. But I feel like no one does all around better than Audi. This car, daily drivable, right? It performs really well, right? It is a sports car. It does what it needs to do, right? Just to put it in the simplest terms, it does what it needs to do, right? And hopefully I can show you guys how great it is to own an Audi, and maybe inspire some of you guys to get an Audi, especially since the Audi tax is really high on these, right? Meaning any modification you want to do on these cars is super expensive due to the fact that not many people make parts for these, not many people have these and want to modify them. So if I could bring more light into owning an RS5, that would be perfect. Why? Because then more people are going to want to mod them. There's going to be more demand on mods, and bring everything down, right? And more specifically, there's going to be better mods, right? I think currently there's maybe like 2 turbos on the market for these. Two turbos, right? Or I think it's just 1, right? So there's not that many options to modify this car. And hopefully with me bringing more light into this, hopefully maybe one day, thanks to me, there will be more turbos on the market, because hopefully you guys are more comfortable in owning these cars, right? Because I mean, look at me, right? Just minimal maintenance, and look, 27,000 miles daily driven, right? A year and a half of only owning this car, and look how many miles it has. 0 issues, no problems at all, right? So hopefully this motivates you guys to maybe get an S5, right? They're beautiful cars, they work wonders, and maybe one day you guys can work hard enough to maybe get an RS in front of that S. Get an R in front of that S, sorry. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Any questions, any concerns, anything you guys are wondering, please leave it down in the comments. I will 100%, even if I don't make a YouTube video on it, I will reply to the comment, right? If you ask me a question and you don't see me reply, I'm making a YouTube video on it. Simple as that, right? So thank you guys for watching, and until the next time, until I get my wheels put on. Very excited for that. Brandon from the future here. Okay, I forgot to talk about the space in this car. Right, so obviously it being a 2-door coupe, it's not gonna have a lot of space, right? But decent amount of space. Now I do have 2 nieces, right? And although I may be like a little cramped in here, still fits perfectly fine. I am about like 5'8", so I'm not incredibly tall, but I guess, you know, for my height, I have okay-ish room. Now if you're 5'9", this is not good for kids at all. Now trunk space, don't mind the car cover, but that's your trunk space. You have a lot of trunk space. Spare tire obviously underneath. Another thing I forgot to mention, right, while filming the video, this is probably like 3 hours after filming the video. Please, if you do not have the money to own a car like this straight out the door, meaning like you didn't pay it off and everything, don't buy it. Why am I saying that? Let's take a look up online how much it costs for one with car payments. I'm going to Car Gurus, right? This is where I bought my car, at least where I looked it up. We're gonna go RS5. It's a bit cold outside. Ooh, almost 40 grand. Pretty good deal. Now I'm gonna put, where's that payment price? We're gonna put the price exactly at what I got mine at. So 52 grand. Did that save? No, I didn't. 52 grand. No, sorry, 52 grand. So there's one. Boom. 2021. It's not that bad, but let's go right here. Excellent credit, 42 months for your financing. Let's say you finance half of it, like 35 grand, right? Looking at monthly payment. So put that plus, so 478, right? So 478 times, right now I pay like 480 in insurance right now at the moment, right? No, times, sorry, 700, right, plus 480, that's 900, right? That's not counting how much you spend in gas, right? Gas, I spend $600 in gas. So plus 600, that's how much you might spend a month on this car. Honestly, this is not reasonable for anybody. That's like probably like half of rent, right? Let's say you don't have 35 grand to just start a car. Let's say you just give 10, right? That's a grand. That's a grand, right? That's a grand, and then plus that, plus 600 in gas. Yep, you're looking at rent right there. Rent money for an RS5. So if you do not have the money to either give half of it down or give the full amount down, do not buy this car. Don't buy this car.